My name is Craig Roble. I teach 7th and 8th grade social studies at Heritage Eastham Magnet School in West St. Paul, Minnesota. I got into teaching because I like stories, I really love American history, and I want my students to make connections between our history and their own lives because they are a part of that story. iPad has enabled us to focus on those connections. I'm always on the lookout for text and artifacts and resources and websites that I think are going to be relevant to my students. The problem for us before iPad was access. We just don't have those types of archived documents or visual artifacts. We worked around that by making paper copies of things, but that wasn't the engagement level that we see with iPad. Using iBooks Author to create a book for my students really gave us the tool that we needed to take those materials that existed in paper copies and now put them onto iPad so that they were immediately accessible and engaging for students to interact with. iBooks Author for me is really exciting to use because of all of the potential. When I open up an iBooks Author file, not only can I drag in text so that I'm telling the story through words, but the widgets themselves are a great resource and a tool for me to take my social studies perspective and leverage that into the book. An example would be the Gettysburg Address. Using iBooks Author, I can collect some artifacts to be included in a particular chapter. I've got the picture of President Lincoln leaving the platform after giving a speech. Students are able to take a look at what happened that day and experience it in a way that really comes to life. They can take the popover on an image and dig deeper into the content that they see in that historical photograph or artifact, things that otherwise the students wouldn't have access to. The biggest change that I've seen in my classroom since starting to use iPad is the fact that my students are performing better. They turn in more work. They are more interested in going deeper into topics. The books on iPad that I've created with iBooks Author simply meet their expectations for how they should be learning. The students understand this is their opportunity to look at the stories in a way that is personal for them, and with an individual iPad in their hand, that's a connection that really resonates. My goal is to continue to emphasize those connections. I really think that's where the heart and soul of it all is. They're learning about people and places, but they're also learning about themselves.